Hello and welcome. My name is Kelsey Harkness. I'm a senior news producer with the Daily Signal. And today I'm with Zach Wood, author of the upcoming book Uncensored, also a recent graduate of Williams College, where he was president of a student-led group called Uncomfortable Learning, which invited controversial speakers to come on campus. You received quite a bit of backlash in this effort and received national attention because of that. Tell us about your work.
So while I was at Williams, I was the president of a group called Uncomfortable Learning. And when I would invite speakers to campus, the main goal was to invite discussion of controversial topics, of complicated issues, in order to prepare students to go out into the world and make a difference in issues they cared about. But I received a lot of backlash from student activists on campus and from students who felt as though bringing certain speakers to campus was inhibiting their ability to make the most of their education, and that they felt personally attacked by speakers who had views that were different from their own.
Now, you actually identify as center-left, and yet you often were trying to bring on conservative-leaning speakers on college campuses. What led you to believe that there was a lack of representation when it comes to conservative thinkers on college campuses?
So in my experience in classes, talking with students in dining halls, dorms, there was this general sense that if your views were to the right of center, they were less welcome, at times even discouraged, and students felt as though they couldn't really say what they thought. And I found that very problematic because for me, robust and open discussion is critical if what you're trying to do is gain a deeper understanding of the world and of humanity. And so even though I'm on the left, and even though I do support many progressive causes, I thought that it was very important to understand the nuances of issues and to really understand the perspectives of those who see things differently.
So, just for anyone watching, while you do identify as sort of center-left, you recently got a job at The Atlantic as an editor. First off, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That is quite an accomplishment. So I imagine there you'll be writing on a number of issues. Are you someone who takes on ideas issue by issue, or do you decide where you stand on issues based on your party affiliation?
I try to look at issues in their full complexity whenever possible, and so I try to look at the evidence. I try to read a good bit of what's being said on both sides, what's being said by more independent audiences and independent thinkers, and then draw my conclusions based upon what I've read.
So my thought on college campuses is that people are so quick to identify with their party affiliation that they are not willing to engage in the other side. And we hear words like racist and bigot thrown around. Race is an issue that you actually were involved with, bringing controversial speakers.
Right.
How do you get past that rhetoric and actually engage in some of these college students who are very difficult to reach right now?
It's very difficult. I'd say one thing I've tried to do is to relax the impulse to just persuade, because sometimes when I'm only trying to persuade them that uncomfortable learning is good and useful and important, they're even more resistant to it, and they're more reluctant to actually hear what I have to say. So sometimes I'll say first, what are your objections? Why is it that you're critical of what I'm doing? What specifically are you critical of? And show them that you're willing to listen. I think that if both sides, if everyone can make the same effort to listen actively in the same way that we do to win the argument, then we can possibly reach a deeper understanding of each other.
And what's a takeaway from your experience at Williams College with the backlash from students and even from some professors and administrators? What is a takeaway for the rest of Americans on what they can actually do to encourage diversity and free speech on college campuses?
I think the main takeaway is that we have to step outside of our comfort zones. We have to be willing to engage with unfamiliar perspectives, to listen to people who we don't see eye to eye with, and that we have to value political tolerance as well as social tolerance.
Well, Zach, I know we're going to be hearing lots more from you, reading lots more from you at your work in The Atlantic and also on your upcoming book. Tell us more about that and where we can find it.
So I am the author of a forthcoming memoir being published by Dutton Books called Uncensored: My Life in Uncomfortable Conversations at the Intersection of Black and White America. And the book can be found pre-ordered on Amazon, and it'll be coming out on June 19th.
Well, this book comes at an important time. I look forward to reading it. I appreciate you being here and joining us and being willing to engage in a conversation.
Thank you so much. It's
Thank
been a
you
pleasure.
all.